Yeah, she lights up every room. No one can compare. It's hard not to stare. She makes my four-wheel mud tires turn. I'm stuck on her. She's the one. I just can't look away. I'm so damn proud. I wanna shout it out loud. I love her more every day. So I'm gonna take every chance that I get just to tell her how I feel. Hey there, cowboy, what you waiting for? Take your cowgirl out on that floor. Spin her around, turn her upside down till she can't take it no more. Hey cowboy, tell her she looks good, that she's the hottest girl in this world, the prettiest thing you've ever laid eyes.
They have 900,000 of Robert's followers and fans under false pretenses after calling me demonic for attacking a demon. This is just how it is. I may have like one of the smallest platforms, but I've been fighting. I'm the David fighting the Goliaths. They're so deceitful, these people. They're sociopaths. And I will not deceive, I will not manipulate, I will not abuse, I will not do anything that's demonic. I fear God. And not just that, I care. I actually care about who I am and my soul is. I care about who you're going to bed at night and facing God at night and in the morning, and the kind of person that I have to face at the end of the day and the end of this life. I have to face God with everything I've done. And, I want to be able to say I have a clear conscience, that I tried with all my heart to do what's right and to be holy. Because holiness is what matters, not just doing good deeds, but holiness. And holiness is something deeper than just going to church. Holiness is a reverence. It's a quiet reverence. It's a humility. It's a respect that it's beyond respect. It's beyond that. And I share about that in, my Catholic faith. And, I want to share more and more about that, because the Catholic Church itself has been so demonized, because it has because it has such a purity, it has such a sacred, ancient purity, because it is the first church, it is the mother church. It has all of the ingredients for like a pure and powerful Christianity and a powerful life with God, like it really does, from the mystical beliefs to the miracles to the expansion of ideas, to everything, to the sacredness of mass and practice of the practice of confession and all of these sacraments, and the taking of marriage seriously, and all of these things, and the Eucharist being the body of Christ. But it's been demonized because demons like to hide behind what's pure. This is just my view, my humble view. Demons like to hide behind what is good and pure. That's why they attack children, and that's why they attack the innocent first, the most pure-hearted first, people like Robert, because they are the opposite of that. And they will hide within the Catholic Church because it is the most sacred and the most pure. And, and this is why, and they have tried to destroy the Catholic Church from within, because they pretend to be priests and they pretend to be, ministers of God. But what they really are demonic human beings, or filled with evil spirits. And I really believe that wherever there's pure goodness, purity, like absolute purity and goodness, with it, especially with children, especially with the innocent, and especially with the Mother Church, the Catholic Church, you're going to find demons in there, demonic human beings, because the evil within them almost needs to try and cleanse itself, but it can't. And I don't know what it is. I haven't found out the answer to that, but it can only do that by being around what is innocent and pure and trying to destroy that. and I don't understand it fully. I've been on a journey understanding this spiritual world that we're living in and fighting and battling more and more every day. It's a reality that's becoming very clear to me, that it's no longer just a prophecy. It's very clear, especially with the internet. You can see it and feel it. This activity that's not harmonious with God. And it's becoming far removed from anything God is. And this is why I love the countryside as well, because it is that. It's coming back and removing all of that. I really want to encourage people, if you haven't looked at the Catholic faith, look again, because a lot of you are not taught about it. All you hear about is the abuse cases. And in the 50s, especially 60s and 70s, there were a lot of them, because back then there weren't procedures in place to protect the innocent and to protect even the church, the mother church, from all of this. Or the father church, I should say. It's not that, when I call it the mother church because of Mary, but it's the father church. Because obviously fathers are the leaders of the family, and it was started by Paul and Peter, and so excuse my terminology if I've used the wrong term, but most of you are not taught about the Catholic faith, and it's such a disservice to you, because there's just a difference. Because when you live a sacred life, when you separate yourself as priests do and you remove all of that worldliness, it becomes a pure divine connection that cannot be explained in words, in my view. And this is why I prefer to go to a priest to be consoled about God, because I know they're not attached to worldly things like possessions and cars and planes and beautiful women and all of these things. They're attached to God. That's what they're meant to do. Nuns as well, nuns inclusive with God, because that's what they've chosen. And they've removed all worldly possessions to do that. It's such an honourable thing. People don't understand how divine that is, beautiful that is. So I really want to encourage you all, just very gently. I'm not here to push anything, but on your journey in understanding where I've come from and what I found peace in, the most beautiful, divine, delicious relationship, full relationship with God, it has to be within the Catholic Church for me. I would never be in any other church ever. I cannot even fathom why anybody would have just somebody who goes and sins very deeply sometimes in private, and who's just like them, try to teach them holiness and this divine sacredness of God that's not worldly. It's not of this world. God is not of this world. You can't treat him like your friend and brother. That's just different. That's what I love about the Catholic Church. And Jesus is not of this world. We kneel when we approach Jesus. We kneel, genuflect, which is that kneeling, that bowing before we enter the pew. It's like this solitude of, we're acknowledging that Jesus is present and we're in a different place right now. And I really have to say that that's how I think God has to be before people really understand, God, and understand the level of cleansing we need to do to get, to really heal this world, to really heal this evil that's circulating and becoming more and more prevalent within people. And this is not to say that Catholics, there aren't some, really demonic Catholics as well, because I've seen them as well. Like I was saying, that anywhere where you see purity and goodness, pure goodness and godliness, pure godliness, and innocence, you will find the opposite of that, because it's like there is something there. And it's a lesson that we all are obviously trying to learn in this world, this battle between good and evil, and why it's there and what we're meant to learn from that. But I really feel it's meant to push us to God. It's meant to push us to rely on God, because even a priest is a human being at the end of the day. God is always the same. But they represent to me that quiet sacredness of God, that humility that we have to have, that awe, that devotion that has to be daily, not just, and throughout our days and lives, not just when we go to church or not just when we read our Bible, but outside of that. And I love so many Christian churches. I'm not saying Christian people, it's not, the beautiful Christians inspire me all the time from other churches. I'm not here to say that they're, Catholic Church is the only Christian